just fix this over here. Okay. So welcome to this new training. So to start, we have in our subscription that Santa Rosa City Schools provides for us, we have 3 components of our News to You, which is like the umbrella. And some of the terms get a little confusing because they overlap a little bit. So we have a News to You, number 1 here, that is a newspaper like current events bit. There is the big old giant unique learning system that has lots to it. And then the last bit that we have is Symbol Sticks Prime. How do you access these? So also on our, so for teachers, we have a ESN Google Doc that is just kind of a running place for us to store use information in our minutes from our department meetings. But also here are the different bandwidth bands that we have, grade bands. So we have the elementary band, we have the elementary intermediate, which is about grades 4 to 6. We have the middle school band over here, and we have the high school band here. And this is the email and the password to it. So the unique system, the content, the grade level, like reading, math, language arts bits, that is these. To get to News to You, that is the current events newspaper type thing. That is Tina Boaz's email and login. And then to use Symbol Sticks Prime, you would use mine, the M King, at Brutus. Brutus was my favorite dog back in the day. So that's how, and again, these are all on the Google Doc as well. So when you're viewing these different things, there's 2 ways to do them. There is PDFs where you just download the PDFs and either read them on your screen or print them out. And I will say we do a little bit of both at Slater when I'm on point. There's also the online interactive, and you can do this in 2 ways. You can either have student logins, which is kind of a pain in the ass to do because it takes a lot of time up front, but also kind of cool because then the kids they just log in wicked easily and they can just see the assignment right there. They don't have to navigate any of the gobbledygook that they have to do. So to get to the student. So I have creating student profiles here, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to do this right now because that is a labor intensive, complicated process. So we will talk about that like at the end. I'm going to skip that right now. So like I said before, unique learning system, and this is like the blurb from them. Standards based, which is pretty cool. And it provides access to general education standards for language arts, math, science, social studies, and even transition kids. And this is what it looks like from the teacher perspective. So you have your content over here, the areas like different bits. And then you have, this is the reading comprehension part at the top when you log in. So this is just a snapshot, and we'll be going into this later. All right, I want to come back to this. I don't think I'm going to do the videos yet. News to You. It's about having a positive sense of belonging in the world and understanding the things around us because our kids are so different. And so, we got the entire spectrum. We got like nonverbal kids to like pretty high functioning kids who are pretty cognizant of what's going on around them. So this is a way for everybody to meet in the middle and to experience what's happening. It's an issue based. So they push 1 issue out, 1 weekly issue a week. You get 2. I'll show you in a minute here on the next screen, but you see 2 perspectives. So you'll see like the current issue, and then you'll see the last week's issue. For me, when I'm doing this, we use this for our homework. We print out the current event with the subsequent activities that go with it. And we print it out, send it home, and that's our homework for the week. One of the things we do for homework for the week. But here's some benefits, as they say. And it looks like this. This is kind of how one thing. So this is the current issue right now, the Winter Olympics. And if you want, I access the PDF here if you would like to see it wicked fast. Here we go. It's pretty long, like it's 20 pages. So it's a substantial document. And that's something that's kind of typical with Unique. Like everything is like 150 pages long, which makes it super like overwhelming, but keep it simple. So what we do is like, here's the article. We don't do a higher functioning one. We just do a one level for everybody. The bit that I really love here is then it has all this stuff. So some families, like especially during distance learning, some families like went full bore on this, and then some families are like, yeah, thanks. But here is a recipe that they can make with their families if they want. I include it. It's just something. There is a joke. Nobody is home. Anyway, there's 2 jokes. That's right. Then there is like choose the pictures that have to do with what you just read. Here is the reading comprehension bit. What is the paper about? And then they circle the answer. There is a word search. Some kids do it, some kids don't. And that's kind of, I stop generally right here with page 16. If we wanted to, the Sudoku, if you feel so inclined. And then there's some higher level thinking stuff, but I try to keep homework a notch simpler and easier than what I would otherwise put in the classroom, because the parents are doing it and doing it at home and they don't have the support. So I try to keep homework pretty basal, pretty just, it's not really the idea of doing the homework and learning the content. It's more the process of those executive functioning skills of doing the work, bringing it home, doing the work, turning it in, that whole process of responsibility that's more important for us here. I don't know, there's these other bits you can do, but seeing it is like, it's not super current, or I don't tend to do it. Let me go back to our presentation. If I am talking too fast, just yell at me. So news to you, the other bit about it, we're gonna watch this video in a minute too, but it's got some bits that I'm like, I kind of want to do this. Like there's a thing called Joey's Locker that is actually pretty fun. So it's got this video I found wicked useful. So we're gonna watch it, but we're not gonna write it out. And then last, we got Symbol Sticks, and it's evidence-based symbol communication. So again, evidence-based practices in our classroom is really important to the success of our kids. You know, standards or evidence-based, just for those of you who don't know, is just, it's been researched to death and it's proven to be successful with kids with disabilities. So visual support is pretty critical for our world. And so Symbol Sticks looks like this. This is just a snapshot, but it's basically like, for those of us who've been around for a while, it's like Board Maker, but a little bit more current and not through like a disc version. So it's always being updated. Some of the things I like, it offers like a field of like 5 or 6 different skin colors. I mean, those little things like matter, and it's nice to see, the kids see themselves in the work, or in the symbols, I should say. And then here's the video for that. Well, then we're gonna go back to that. All right, so we're gonna start simple, and we're gonna just look at Symbol Sticks, because that is, it's the simplest thing that we have access to. So again, you access Symbol Sticks through my MKing login. And now let's go back and we're gonna watch this video. The videos are about I think this one might be 7. I will probably be fast forwarding through some of these videos when they just kind of talk. So we're not just sitting here 11 minutes, like for the simplest thing. So yeah, we're not.
It ensures everyone has access to learning, language, and self-expression. Over the last 18 years of my career in education, their ability to communicate and participate with their peers in my self-contained classroom. Herself, because I could see the frustration she was experiencing throughout our daily lessons.
We already know
her desire to tell me and her peers what she was feeling, or even participate in the class discussions, was completely obvious, and I wanted Angela to feel included and have the ability to participate. In touch with Angela's mom, and I am happy to report that she is flourishing in high school. For those of you not familiar with Symbol Sticks Prime, it's the solution that gives you the world's most comprehensive library of over 90,000 dynamic, engaging, and personally relevant education symbols, though it is so much more than just a collection of symbols. With Symbol Sticks Prime, you can quickly create countless activities and easily optimize clear, consistent communication to support academic, behavioral, and social needs for all students. Help students strengthen vocabulary and literacy skills and clarify academic concepts. Ensure meaningful access to learning, language, and self-expression by helping learners connect and interact with the world around them. And finally, you can quickly develop, save, search through, and reuse activities and communication board templates, and easily pair symbols and words for any situation in English, Spanish, and 9 other languages. Symbolsticks Prime is exactly what every learner who struggles with communication needs and deserves in order to feel included, supported, and engaged. Here is the homepage. One of the many great aspects of Symbolsticks Prime is that it saves you a lot of extra work, especially if you subscribe to other N2I solutions. You can see here that we already have collections of symbols based on both the current unit of News to You, our weekly newspaper, and the monthly thematic unit in Unique Learning System. And since every language is constantly growing and evolving, we're always adding new symbols, which you can see here at the bottom. From here, you can create your own collection based on these groups of symbols, or you can easily search and then create your own collection. Let's take a look at how easy it is to search. If you click on Browse, you can select from this enormous list of categories that contain collections of symbols, or you can search by keyword. Here are all of the symbols we get just from searching the word teacher. So many different options, including ASL symbols. And over here to the right, you'll see how easy it is to reflect the diversity of today's multicultural classrooms with the ability to change each character's skin tone. You can change the tone of one symbol or an entire collection. And then from here, you can easily download and save your symbols. All of the symbols you add to your personal collection are stored right here under My Symbols. Building your own symbol collection makes it easy to create your own boards, or you can use the many included templates to create just what you need for your students. So many people use Symbolsticks Prime for so many different reasons. One of the many reasons why teachers love it is for creating interactive communication boards. Interactivity on our boards allows you to reach many different levels of students. There's text-to-speech, highlighting, the ability to adjust reading speed, turn symbols on and off within the board, and the ability to zoom in and out. There's really something for everyone here. Plus, no worries about compatibility. You can teach and students can learn anywhere there's an internet connection and a device to connect. So let's create some boards. We're going to go on over to the Board Wizard by just clicking up here in the main menu. Do you see all of these different options? There are templates for creating customized boards by activity, by size, by layout, and by whichever device your student is using. Let's create a board by size. Okay, let's say we're teaching the difference between a fruit and a vegetable. We create a 2-place board. And then just type fruit here. And we're also going to add a vegetable. Done. But what if you want a more robust board for a whole group activity? Well, there's nothing to worry about. Let's move over to creating a customized board. I simply drag the symbolized text icon over to our board. Start typing, I love bananas, and I love broccoli. See how the symbols just appear as you type? I would do this on the whiteboard and it would show my students both the words and the symbols together. You also have so many options for individualizing your creations here. You can also put symbols here if you'd like to. You can align your work to the canvas. You can move it up and down to top or bottom, and you can include speaking in here as well to make your board even more interactive.
I love bananas and I love broccoli.
Saving your board is also quick and easy, like everything else. Or you can download it, whatever works for your particular need. So if you're anything like me, you also love keeping things neat and organized. Here, if we go back to the main menu and select My Boards, you can see a visual representation of all of the boards you've created in Symbolsticks Prime. There are a lot of options here too. You can add tags and mark boards as favorites for easy filtering. And when you have students with similar needs, you can simply copy a board and save it as a new file, then customize the board from there. We can even go a step further with organizing by creating and then adding dazzling color to our folders. Over to the right, you'll see My Folders. I've already created several color-coded folders that house collections of the boards I've created or received from others. Just click on the eyedropper icon and pick whatever color you'd like. I can also quickly arrange all of my creations by subject, project, virtual field trip. The possibilities are endless, and it's all right here in one place. So we've created a few boards and folders. Now let's assign them. This is also a snap. You can quickly assign folders and boards for any student to be used throughout the school day or at home. Just like many other N2I solutions, students can sign into Student View and will have their boards and folders waiting for them. This is a great way to connect what students are learning with opportunities for communication at home. This also ensures continuity through any kind of teaching.
All right, we're gonna stop there because at this point, that feature is only available for us in middle school because the Symbolsticks is attached to the middle school. And so from the so like for instance, you can't if you're in the elementary band, the Symbolsticks is not connected to it. So therefore that's subscription. And so therefore those students are connected. So we are going to stop there. Does anybody I know I saw in here, does anybody have any questions at this point in the game? Okay, good. So just how are you going to access Symbolsticks? I just want to show you how this is working. So for me, I have my passwords are saved through a Chrome extension. This is just a little plug for me because I don't remember any of my passwords. I use a thing called LastPass right here, LastPass Vault. And it saves all of mine. So I have my subscription here and I have, or the middle school subscription, and I have Tina's saved here. So you go ahead to News View, you sign in. When you sign in, it'll look like this, where the non-grade boxes or circles are what subscriptions. Oh crap, I meant to go to Symbolsticks and I went to Tina's. Sorry, everybody. But it will look like this. So Symbolsticks would be open. Go back here and go to me, sign in. Sometimes it doesn't switch. Finding this out yesterday. It was really annoying. Turn here to log in. There we go. Okay, so what is it? Is it here? Over to the side, and here is Symbolsticks right here on the side. And so, board wizard, I saw Kelly's used a board wizard before. Excuse me, oh, you're not, thanks, Christine just told me I'm not sharing anymore. Rookie mistake. There we go. Thanks, Christina. My board. So like here are boards that Kelly has made for Connor. Here it is, like, nice job, Kelly. And so that is kind of the nice thing here. If you wanted to create folders for the team, you could have like an elementary folder, you could have your kids, and so on. Okay.
Hey, Megan.
Yeah.
Oh, we just saw your desktop when you were sharing.
God, I am just not impressive right now. All right, let me try that again. Desktop 2. share. Can you see it now, Noah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Clearly, it is too early. So here it is. So you can see it now. So sorry, everybody. Connor stuff is here. Special Olympics. Ooh, you guys got fancy. What do you do for Special Olympics? You. Kelly, I'm impressed. If this is Kelly. Oh, this is great. Okay. All right, questions, comments, or concerns about symbol 6? All right, I'm gonna move on now to the, we're gonna talk about the News to You article, new current event portion. I'm gonna go back here. We're gonna watch this video now.
My name is Stacy Attia, and I am the Senior Solution Marketing Manager here at N2Y. I'm very excited to show you how News to You, the differentiated online newspaper that's connected unique learners with the world for over 20 years, can make a difference in the lives of your students. It all started back in 1997 when our founder, Jackie Clark, learned that there was nothing available for teaching current events to her students or giving them inclusive access to the world. Jackie, a speech-language pathologist, decided her students should have more, and News to You was born. As a former administrator and teacher, I too naturally found myself looking for innovative, engaging ways to help students make those meaningful real-world connections for differentiated current events materials and activities, and also ways to help build language and literacy skills. Of course, all with the end goal of sustaining lifelong learning. Let's take a deep dive into what the research-based News to You can offer to both you and your students. Here's our homepage where you can easily access all of the great weekly materials and activities. Let's start with what else? The news. We'll take a look at the current issue. Before we go into the weekly edition, we can see those differentiated current events I mentioned. We have 4 levels of differentiation: simplified, regular, higher, and advanced, plus a text-only version for students using screen readers or CCTV. Let's check out these levels to see how they can support not only unique learners, but also English language learners, struggling readers, and also those with communication needs. If we select the simplified version, we can see there's a very limited text on this page. However, it's written in a sentence format. Each word is also accompanied by a symbol stick symbol. This is perfect for those students needing the most support and a great way to introduce the topic and vocabulary of the week. One level up is the regular version, where you'll see several sentences on the page, so there is more content here. The clear and concise sentence structure also helps students to move up to the next higher level. Here at the higher level, you'll see quite a bit more text on the page in paragraph form, with minimal support now from the symbol stick symbols. And here's our advanced level, with color photographs instead of symbol support, just like students would see in their real-world reading. And remember, text-to-speech is available at every one of these levels of differentiation, and students can follow along as every word is highlighted.
News to You, October 18th, 2021. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Everyone gets exposure to News to You's high-interest informational text at the accessibility level that's just right for them. From here, it's very easy to get to the dozens of new activities every week that are tied to the current issue. When I was teaching, I loved all of the issue-based activities that are intentionally designed to help boost literacy skills. And my administrators loved that the activities and lessons were standards aligned and included instruction in vocabulary acquisition. Word study skills, fine motor development, writing, math, geography, cooking, and crafts. All of these activities really help students connect to the weekly news articles. Okay, but what about helping students to join in or even start their own conversations about the news? News to You really meets students where they are with breaking news about world, sports, and entertainment topics. News stories, which often contain links to videos, are added daily and can be presented both with and without symbol support. So again, more opportunities here for differentiation. And we're giving students access to the news they can share with their peers. They can also take so much of what they're learning in class and bring it home to share with their parents and caregivers. Making that school-to-home connection is what Class News is all about, and my students loved it. Class News is for creating your own classroom newsletter, and it's really easy. With a few interactive clicks, you can quickly discuss the weather, what students are working on in class, spotlight a student of the week, and look over articles being reviewed in class. Best of all, my students are beaming with pride at what they accomplished with Class News, and talk about motivation and engagement. My students worked really hard at perfecting their skills in literacy, communication, and writing, and had a meaningful way to communicate with parents and caregivers at home. And those parents and caregivers, they love the connection they felt knowing what activities and instruction were happening throughout the week. Students can make even more connections to the world by answering questions about the day's weather and then dressing their very own Symbolsticks character. Today's weather is a lot of fun. Students especially enjoy interacting with their character and choosing from a variety of clothing options that are appropriate for the day's weather. This is also a great whole group routine for engaging with students before a lesson or activity. But there's also so much that students can do on their own. One of the very best components of News to You, one that I found to be the most useful, is the flexibility. Just like every other N2I solution, students can access their differentiated News to You content anywhere there's an internet connection and a device to connect. Assigning work is a snap. We just navigate to My Students and you can choose from auto-assigning the current issue, breaking news, Joey's Locker, or today's weather here.
I'm skipping forward.
Back at the home page, students have access to their communication board, those breaking news articles, today's weather, and Joey's Locker, a News to You teacher favorite. Again, we have a lot of great interactive content for reinforcing what's taught in the current issue. Students can not only explore different locations around the world with Let's Go, they decide how they're going to get there. And at the end of each segment, there are quick questions to check for understanding. Students can also explore a career tied to the news topic, making real-world connections, and answer the who question with the Spotlight books. They're loaded with rich photographs and, of course, created with full symbol support from Symbolsticks Prime. And each week, Joey's Locker has plenty of skill-building activities which students can play by themselves, with other students, or against the computer. And of course, they are all connected to the current issue. Students can play a hangman-style game to solve words with Build a Word, practice fine motor skills by popping specific balloons in Helicopter Joey, test their recall ability with a memory game, answer questions correctly and earn points in Quiz Show, play tic-tac-toe against the computer, and search for a list of keywords. And Student View allows students to play these games wherever they are learning. Those are just a few highlights of News to You, but there are so many more resources available for.
All right, we're gonna stop there. So because again, we've kind of have this piecemeal subscription put together to save the district money. You can't directly assign activities to students. However, you can just what we do here is I log in under the same account on like all the Chromebooks, and then the students can access it that way. So, and then I just pull up on the screen what they need to do. So I would just log in like here, and then the kids could in their center would do the activities. The other bit that I thought that I kind of just learned when I was putting this training together was the Joey's Locker. Let's see, I minimize here. Oh, not the Joey's, excuse me, not Joey's Locker. Come on, just click on that box, please. All right, escape down. All right, let's get over here to make sure I get all the, so I'm gonna navigate over to our News to You subscription, which is through Tina's. So one thing I think I want to start trying to do in my class when I'm good is the oh, where was it? And you can see I don't have a ton of experience because it's something I want to start doing. With the weather bit in the morning, so clicking through and see, I'm gonna have to think about how it was. If anybody wants to speak up and remind me how they did it. With breaking news? No. That was that. All right, I don't want to waste your time, but I'll find out how to do it later. Current, no, is it activity? Letter home. Fine motor, writing. Dot to dot. All right, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I'm going to find out how to do it, and I'm going to show you. But it was the boards in the back where the students clicked and got to, so we talked about like the weather, and then you can have a kid click on it, or you can just, I want to project it up on my screen behind me to talk about the schedule, the weather, what's going on, events, and use the visuals to click through. But I'm going to find out how to do that. That's what from the video, that's what I want to do. All right, sorry. Any questions about the News to You? All right, I'm gonna move on. So now, get back to where I am. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to do that. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to shift. So we've talked about Symbol 6. We've talked about Symbol 6. We talked about the News to You articles. Now the big heavy bit is the unique curriculum. So we're gonna watch this video here, and then we're gonna shift to this part 2 presentation. Oh, come on, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, geez. All right.
Now, Unique Learning System is a cloud-based, standards-aligned instructional solution that does provide access to general education and extended standards for ELA, for math, science, and social studies. And it also offers transition along the way, as well as a separate grade band. Now, here at N2I, we are focused on research and evidence-based practices and embed that in innovative educational pedagogy approaches, such as universal design for learning. And this very framework provides our students with that multiple means of engagement and the opportunity to express knowledge. Within Unique Learning System, there are 6 different grade bands that span from pre-kindergarten all the way through high school and transition and everything in between. Now, within each grade band, there are 3 different levels of differentiation, which makes it perfectly customizable, high interest, and age appropriate to allow students to meet state standards, which will help them learn at an appropriate level, and empowering them to build that knowledge and skills that will last them for a lifetime. The differentiated leveling does cover unique learners who benefit from the maximum amount of support for all instructional tasks, all the way through students that can typically perform tasks with the greatest degree of independence. And altogether, each level of that differentiation is designed to deepen student knowledge and skills in many different areas academically and life skills. And this is a comprehensive academic and life skills learning environment. It does provide built-in lesson plans and instructional routines. It also provides assessment, and it includes data as well as reporting. Now, to round out the solution, Unique Learning System offers student accessibility features such as language and symbol supports, assistive technology, accommodations like closed captioning, text-to-speech, interactive manipulatives, and conversion for screen readers and Braille.
Mr. Alfreds has many plants. Garden.
Now, here at N2I, we truly believe that everyone can learn, and in doing so, we allow for student mastery of content in a variety of ways. Our scope and sequence within Unique Learning System provides both standards alignment access as well as the opportunity for skills mastery through the use of thematic units in science and social studies, which gives students the opportunity to connect with concepts within the world around them. And that's what sets us apart from other products. Now, in addition to that level of mastery, we also provide opportunities for progress towards IEP goals and objectives, keeping that standards-based instruction at the forefront of our students' educational experience. Unique Learning System also provides students with immediate feedback and really empowers them to continue on a path to success academically and, of course, through personal growth, which is a beautiful segue to creating a connection between student and teacher. Now, on the teacher side, Unique provides automated data that allows teachers to fine-tune and target individual student needs and adjust instruction for optimal success. Another great way to garner a connection and rapport between parents, teachers, and service providers. Now, all of Unique's interactive content is accessible through whole group, small group, and one-on-one, and it can be used on multiple platforms, regardless if the student is learning remotely, hybrid, or in a brick and mortar setting. Unique Learning System is a powerful workflow tool that supports student success with research-proven, differentiated instruction and truly promotes academic achievement and greater opportunities in life beyond the classroom. It allows teachers to reclaim their time spent with students because of those flexible delivery options and the ability to automate differentiated lesson plans, assessments, and of course, reporting. And with the full range of reporting options, Unique empowers the entire stakeholder team to ensure compliance and fidelity at every level.
All right, we're gonna stop. So now click forward. We're gonna move into the next bit. Symbol 6. News to you. Okay, now we're gonna get to Unique. Did I link it? I did link it. So to switch to the next set of slides, it's in the chat. I'll put it back in the chat so you can have it. It's also linked in the copy link. Where's my chat? There we go. So there you go. All right, so we're gonna go through these and then we're gonna just kind of have this at the talk about how we can use this and what does it look like. All right, so our system, just to like recap. So Unique does language arts, math, science, social studies, and transition. And you can use all of these bits or some of these bits. In our world over here, we use them. And this year, I feel like, oh, sorry, my microphone. That's being funky. So I will also like big asterisk with this. I don't want you guys to think that like, oh, Megan's doing all this. Because honest to God, this year has been really hard for us in getting our momentum going and being able to like implement these things with fruition. So when I say that we've been doing these things, I kind of mean like the best practice. Like we've done these things, and what we've had a success with. But again, I think we're all feeling it. We've all talked about this. Is like our kids are just, they're not where they were, at the same point pre-COVID. And it's taken, like, I've spent a lot of time working on like behavior and supporting that way than really truly implementing these systems with fruition. So again, don't think that this is like, oh, Megan's doing like this is what we've done. I've done it with my old teaching partner, Andrea. I've done it, last year. We've done a little bit of it this year. So just big asterisk. But in here, we focus predominantly on language arts and really language arts and some of the social studies, but predominantly the language arts section. Math, you'll see, it's a little bit challenging to do the math on the computer. I feel like our kids do better. It's just my own personal opinion, but they do better when they have paper to pencil and they have more tangible things. Math, though, is on here. And then science is integrated through the language arts. And then there's social studies, and we use that for some of the systems around the classroom, like helping with task analysis or different things that are happening in the kitchen, or the life skills portions of the ADL section. So like you've heard, it's aligned to Common Core, which is kind of a big deal to me, because I feel like, especially in us higher grades, our kids have seen the same stuff. They know Read Naturally. They know Edmark. And especially those kids who are still cognizant of the fact that like what they're learning about out in Gen Ed, they like the idea like that they're learning about it here. So we talk about U.S. history. Oh, thanks, Christina. We talk about U.S. history. We talk about the Revolutionary War. We talk about ancient Greece. But the nice thing about Unique that I really, really love is they always tie these big concepts like the Common Core standard concept to a real life perspective. So they anchor it and they make it tangible for our kids to kind of have some sort of understanding. It's always being updated, so it refreshes every month. There is an overlap, it's about 20 days. That makes it hard sometimes, like if you're trying to do duplicating. Like last year, I was going to show you some of my stuff. I had brought out my binders from last year. We relied on Unique in a lot of ways for our distance learning, and to get things to duplicating and have the right turnaround gave me about a week window tops, really a few days, to get the stuff printed, organized, sent to duplicating, and get back for the next month to have in the classroom. So it was a pretty high pace, and I was really only able to achieve that while I was in distance learning. I haven't been able to achieve it now. And yeah, so here are the different bands. We have the elementary, the intermediate, 3 through 5. We have the middle school. We have the high school. And like we've said before, there are 3 levels. And so the reason I wanted to repeat this, you've seen it in one of the videos earlier. There's level 1, that's like the most extensive support. There's level 2, some symbol support. And then there's level 3, that's more of a paragraph. They're a little bit more higher functioning. The kids can actually read the text. So here's what it looks like. So they read it, they answer the questions by clicking on it, and then they do this. And there is way too much in here, just so you know. So just start small. That's why we started with language arts. Learn that, and we're going to move on to learn something else later. Here's math. This is what it looks like. And then they have life skills and materials. So they have daily living, they have monthly schedules, they have circle time activities, they have jobs. I found that's really useful. They have like task analysis, like right here. We have these actually printed out and in our kitchen. So instead of us having to spend the time to break down every single step, like here it is and it's picture supported. They have, a lot of them have 2 ways to do it. I personally like to favor the real life photos and applications of it versus the cartoons, but it's to each their own. The other bit that I really use, and I use this for when we're doing progress at the reporting period, so progress on goals. And again, big asterisk, I suck with progress on goals. High school guys know that. They've seen my IEPs that come to them. And they rarely have progress on goals. So this is my asterisk, but this is a really great tool to help with that. And I found it's like useful. There are different, and we're going to look at these later too. There are different benchmark assessments. I choose the IEP goal that I want to measure. So for instance, telling understanding money. They have an assessment that you just click through up here, bing, bang, bong. You read page found a penny, show me a penny. Most of the time I keep it simple and I don't say the page found a penny part. I just say, show me a penny. And the kid points to it and it clicks on it, it gives me a score. And then after they run the assessment down here, this graph right here, you can see it tracks them and it gives me data. And the nice thing is that data, that graph goes with them to high school, so that in theory, high school teachers can then look back and say like, okay, we did this. Okay, maybe this is where they are with money with this assessment. Let's do, instead of identifying money and counting money, let's go to the next level and let's talk about change back. And you can see here, like coin down here, it has it right here. Coins and value, like Billy Joel right here. He did mastery, he's got it. So the next level is coins and bill values, review and revise. And it's not the basic math, it's a little bit more complex, like the numbers go up. And then the next one under that is change back. So here are, we're not preschool, so we're going to elementary, what it looks like. And this is just to give you context. And then we're going to jump into it actually, like just live.
Hey, Megan.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, can you show us how to make a little report too of the results from that testing?
Yeah, for sure. Remind me when I get to that at the end of it.
All right. Thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt your flow.
No, you're totally fine. This year, it's like the first year that we've really been able to do it. I actually have student accounts. I took the time to do that. And the kids answer the questions here. You can also, when we were doing distance learning, and if you want, you can just print them out. So for instance, here's the reading comprehension, and the kids just print out the questions. I have them right here, now it's not. And they cut and paste. So you can either do it on the computer and click on this, or you can do it paper-based. And whenever there's a pencil right here, this is where they would type in or use the pencil tool, which is wicked hard, what the answer is. Here are the language arts. So reading comprehension, and it's differentiated down to, so here is the higher functioning over here with the 3 pictures and the multiple questions on one page. It differentiates it down to if what word starts like come. I have no idea what that even means. What word rhymes with me? Middle school. High school. Elementary. Here's math. I found this is most successful when using an iPad too. Middle school math. High school. But remember that it's all differentiated. Let me go back for a second. Oh, come on, no. There we go. Differentiated. So if your kid is a level 1 kid, you're not going to be doing the hypotenuse and the angles of a triangle. But if it's, you're going to be counting money. And when you put your kids into the system, it'll help you navigate and understand like what level that kid is, and it will push out the material that's applicable for that student's level. So here's some social studies things. Oops, I clicked that. Sorry guys, that's transition. Here are the benchmarks assessments. So I love this right here. The review, revise, emerging, instruction, and mastery. So when I'm doing my IEP present levels, I can just put this down in the comment section and then I understand what it means. Here are the 4 levels. This is the percentages that they get. So they get 18 to 50. The questions always have 18 questions. So mastery is like that 18 to 15 range. Instructional is at 14 to 10 correct. Emerging 9 to 6. And review and revise is 5 and below. It just helps me keep it like super just like bing, bang, bong. So it's not as like objective. It's what's the word? It's not as like biased or just that individual. Like I can look at that and I can understand it across context. Here are those graphs, those reports that Sanders was talking about. You can see the attempts when you put the kids into the system. You can see the attempts that they have. If you don't want to put the kids into the system and you just want to do the assessment, you can do that too and just keep your paper data. Transition. So this is what the different levels look like: level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. These are the news to you bits that we talked about earlier. I want to do this guy right here, the month thing. I got to figure out how to do that. And then symbol 6, here were different examples. This is a review of it all. And here's some kids doing it in real life. So different ways that you can do these. If you're feeling adventurous, you can go for boom cards. But you can also do interactive on the computer. You can print them out. Like here, I have my big binder and I have it all printed out. It's a lot of paper. You can pop them on Google Slides. You can plop them into Google. I put them in Seesaw activities a lot. And that is the end of the slideshow. So what I was thinking we would do now is we'll go to Unique. Boom cards. Boom cards are these bad boys. I'll show you. So you can put them on a computer and like you can get to them and then you correct. It's kind of, it's like a similar, how do I say it? Like Kahoot-ish. Supposed to be that idea of that like quick and easy. Lots of people like boom cards. Have any of you guys done them yet? I actually can't see faces right now with my screen. I really don't know why. So
Yeah, we did them all the time, but I mainly did it for whole class instruction.
yeah, did you like them?
Yeah. There's some good pre-made slide decks.
Pre-made, that's crucial. So when you log in, let me stop sharing for a hot sec. Oh, I got all this stuff popping up on my screen now. One thing, oh, my screen is so bad. The sun. Okay, so we did create student accounts this year. I made these little cards. There we go. So here's Zeke's. God, this is just freaking annoying. So on one side, I wrote his Google information. And then the cool thing about Unique that I find is a little bit easier than Google, because some of my kids need help, is Unique allows kids to log in with a QR code. So I laminated these and I gave them to the kids. So now they just hold this up to the screen and then they log in themselves. Took a little time, won't lie, but it made it kind of cool. so they can get to their material wicked quickly. So if you were a student who was logging in, you would click students. Like I help the kids get to this point, and they hit enable QR scanning and allow my camera. And then the kids would just hold this bad boy up like so, and it's probably not going to do it really nicely because the light is all super funky right now. And then it would log in, it would open up the 3 activities that I had pushed out already for Zeke to do. But we're going to go and we're going to do sign in for teacher. I'm going to log in using mine. So what you're seeing is middle schoolers. So these are all our kids. These are my kids. These are CCLA's kids. And you're seeing various ways to do this. Like Kelly and Mark, like at one point they just did a whole login. It was just cook kids. So they just want to get in so then they can push out the material. So I'm going to pick on Alex today. So here's Alex, and you can see like we're not doing anything in the past. Oh no, it doesn't go that far back. Oh, come on. Can I just go forward? Yeah, good. So here on the side, I'm going to go down to unique. And here's all the different bits that are part of this. Generally, I go to monthly lessons. That's my bread and butter. And here are the different activities. They changed the format this year, so it looks a little bit different. So if I was doing this with my kids, I do the reading and comprehension, because we do centers here, it's later. So in the reading comprehension center, I choose which one do I want to do. Do I want to just print out chapter 1 and have them read it? Or do I want to do it as an iDoc? And generally, if I'm doing it on the computer, I'm going to do it as an iDoc. So I've done this 2 ways, So in the beginning, they give you all of this information, way too much. And it's pages. I mean, it's good stuff if you want to like get nitty gritty. For me, I found I don't have that kind of time. This page is important. This helps me with reading comprehension. So to get their scores, to know what the answers are. So if I'm doing it 2 ways, I'm either pulling it up like this, like I just did for you on a Chromebook, and I'm giving it to the kid and I'm giving them their headphones and I'm like, all right, you're going to go, you're going to read it. I'm going to set them up. And then when they get to the questions, I'm just going to look at each screen and I'm just going to write down their score on my data sheet. Or you can have a student log in and it would save those scores and you get those graphs and whatnot. So those are 2 ways. The simpler way is just log in on your own and plop it up in front of a kid and say, here you go. But you have to also help them navigate this bit. So this go button breaks down the whole thing. So instead of clicking through the first like 15 pages of just this information for the lesson plan, I'm going to go to the actual reading activity. Oh, wait, just kidding. Down here. There's a level. So that's the thing. All those things are information. So here it is. If they want to annotate it in any way, they can have these markers. Sometimes they have vocabulary words as part of it. I will have the words in front of the kids and I will have them find the word on the page. I'm trying to find my vocabulary word sheet here, and have them circle it with a pen. Spacebar.
Chapter 1, Cooking is a Science.
Reads it to her. Yes, her voice is not the best. This button over here is your home button. And so it pops out these things. So if you're doing this as you logging in, then you have to change the settings as to what you want. If you're doing this with the student login, all the settings you've already done for the specific kid. So some kids need the a slower pace reading. Some kids need text to speech. When it comes to questions, these two supports are things that I typically take off at some point later on down the road when the kids start showing that they're understanding this. So highlighting the right and wrong answer, I'll show you what that means in a minute, and playing the incentive audio. So if they click on the wrong answer, it'll go boom, like a negative sound. If they click on the right answer, it'll have like a ping, it's a positive sound. Also the highlighting right and wrong. If it's the right answer, it highlights it green. If it's the wrong answer, it highlights it red. So those two supports, kid can get 100% by understanding the sounds and the colors. So generally, as the kid gets through this, I'll take that support away. I'm scaffolding this process. Initially, they're going to have that support, and then we're going to take that away. I'm going to start testing them and seeing how they actually can do. And then there's all these other different pieces. So here we go. So also, when you're just clicking into the system yourself, not using Student View, all 3 levels are right there for you. So what I would do for my students at the time is I would choose which one they were. Are they high, middle, or low? Generally, I tick for the middle one. It's a little bit like Split the Baby, some words, pictures. So they click through it, they read it. Some of my kids, like Ryan, Oliver, he would just like click, 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 click. Okay, I'm done. So for him, when we did this, I made him take his headphones off so I could specifically hear him reading it because he liked to just, blast through things. Then you scroll down, and then here is all the different levels of questions, and it's kind of a lot. And again, you're in the student view, everything's leveled already, so you don't have to figure out which ones you want them to do. But this is the teacher's view and the general side, so you have to. So this is the highest, or like level 3, fill in, no picture support. It will read the
Mark wants
question
to
to them.
learn how to food.
Click on this. Here is, he wants to
Cook.
So see that green and you hear that sound. If I want to take that away, I'm just going to click highlight, play incentive, get rid of those 2 things. Here we go.
Mark looks in the cabinet and sees lots of matter.
Black, no sound. That way I can actually get an actual content understanding from the kid. The next, I'll show you how things are differentiated. So that has no pictures. This guy has
Mark
the word.
wants to learn how to
Same
food.
question. Bing, we've got photos, pictures to support that one. The next level, 1 question per page, so even more differentiation there, bigger, 5, still a field of 5, and you can, I think you could change the questions to be like a field of 2 or a field of 3 to give the kid a higher probability of answering the question right, depending on how their skills are. 2 questions on 1 page, but see, there's a lot here. So what I generally do, I do the level 2, kind of right in the middle. Here's the level 2 multiple choice. And then for my higher kids, I will do the advanced questions. There's the fill in, or generally I do this guy with no pictures for my higher functioning kids. And then this one is my bad boy here. This one I love. And when I do this, I would give them a word bank generally. I rarely do I assign this questions without having a word bank. And normally that just looks like me jotting down the words using my, not in front of me, but using my question, my cheat sheet, my answer key. I jot them down on a whiteboard, and then the kid would type them in on the computer. If I had printed it out, they could write it on the paper. And then this I would generally use just as a guiding, not as a high. This is probably high school. Maybe you guys could do this. All right. So that's the reading comprehension, and that's what I really, really like. The other bits, there are life skills applications to support the reading comprehension. And so as the chapters progress, there's 6 chapters per month. They get more closer aligned to what the standard is that they are covering. So you start off something very general as like changes around us in the first, like the pre-read or cooking is a science. And then at the end here, we're talking about changes in chemical reactions in the oven. So always connecting it to a life application. And on the side over here are the life skills application activities. So, I mean, this is actually a pretty good month. This is pretty on point. But like, here's the working with food. This is what it looks like for the first. Always have your information pages in the front. So all your lesson planning stuff. So here is a life skills bit of like, hey, jobs, high school kids, transition. Ooh, which one do you want to do, baby? What's favorite food job? Differentiated with photos, and that's the activity. It's super simple, but that's the activity here. Yep. Going back to home. So when I was wicked good with was pretty much because we've had so many tumultuous years. It was back with when I was with Andrea and with Sydney. I would do the reading comprehension in my center. And then in the writing center that we have here, they would do the words, the vocabulary words and the sentences. So they would use the word bit of this. So the word study, the edit it. So Vanessa, these are things I want us to do too. Word study, edits, book report, and topic paragraph are the writing application bits to it that we would use. So we're all talking about the same concepts in the class, but I'm doing the reading and then they were doing the writing. So word study looks like this. And they've changed the format. I'm not a super big fan of it, but here are, I'm gonna try to zoom in. So here's the high frequency words. I think these are specifically Dolch words. And then here are the vocabulary words for the month. Oh, now I gotta make it smaller. So, you know, for teachers, this is a lot, but, you know, we could, here's a very in-depth breakdown of, you know, for new teachers or assistants who need this, like here, this, it tells you exactly what you're gonna do. Too many words in my opinion, but here, like, use high frequency word in a sentence, emphasize the words. You could model it. So it's the I do, we do, you do, basically. So each of the different parts play the vocabulary game, define the vocabulary. So here's the word. So this one, they've changed the format this year. So you play the
Eat.
word. So what's the word?
Eat.
All right, we're gonna write the word. I'm gonna use my thing, or I could use my pen. All right. Close that. Forget that. Oh, which one is it? I don't know that one.
Eat.
Okay. And then use the word. I like to eat ice cream. Oops. Done. So those are all the vocabulary words. I'm gonna move through this a little bit. So it's high frequency words, high frequency words. There is a vocabulary bit here. Gotta click through all these. Oh, I see. Sorry, I was clicking on the wrong thing. I was trying to move it through a little faster. So the ideas that I have for us at Slater to just get this rolling is like I would give Vanessa, who's in charge of my writing, Vanessa's here right now. I would give her Chromebooks or an iPad, depending on the nature of the kid, and I would help her log in, and then she would work through this with the kids. And so she like, okay, you know, we got, you know, Jaden. All right, Jaden, click on the word.
Large.
What's the word? What'd you hear, Apollo? It was large. All right, everybody, go ahead on your computers and write the word large. All right, everybody, go ahead and choose the picture. Which one means large? Yeah. This is a little bit nondescript, so you might have to have a little support there, but there you go. And then if they're capable, go ahead and write the sentence. And then I would have her have a data sheet of like sentencing, like writing sentences. Jaden has a goal that's specifically around writing sentences. So he would type it in here and he goes, the block is large. Well, okay. So did he get his capital? No. Did he get his period? No. Those are the areas I'm looking for. He spelled well, not really like, I would be more concerned if he didn't spell the vocabulary word right. So, because it's right there. That kind of stuff. And then here is it differentiates, find the word in a sentence. So what's the word? Select the word.
She.
Picture of the word. Now I gotta
She.
find the word.
She turns on the blender.
And this one's supported because it has little blocks around
She.
it. The sound is there, so they know. All right. I'm gonna go back. The other bit I do, or have done before, the edits it, the book report, and the topic paragraph. So I'm just gonna do the PDF version. So here's what the PDF version is, a little simpler. You can scroll through the different pages. And then what we did last year for distance learning is we had an edit it packet that I would make and send home. I like this one a little better when it's paper to pencil, not always on the computer. So we would print it out. Oh, whatever, I didn't find it. So you have to put the things in order and fix the sentence. Here's a little bit harder. There's a different one. There's an opinion-based one. And then this, I printed this out and laminated it for all the kids. So then these are the things they have to check for. Again, a little higher functioning, but there we go. Go back. Book report. Let's just do the PDF to make it simple to show you guys. So for book report, we did this as part of their homework, and they would read their books at home. And then each night that they read, or each week, excuse me, they would fill out this for that book that they read, in addition to their, but again, see how it's differentiated, more pictures. And it even has here for like non-verbal, like note the responsible, point, look, other. So cool. Connecting it, topic, so on. All right, almost done, you guys. 9:36. Okay. The other bits, as you continue through the month, you click on, you can do what you wish. So they have the money, shopping in the kitchen. Like this is super good month. You can go further up, change it up with math and geometry, science, watch it melt. You could do science and then the journal writing. The other bit, all right, where do I want to go now? Core material is useful in the sense it has all of this stuff. It is too much, and I wish that they gave us more visuals, but there are things here that you can use with your class. The daily task jobs list, and it has all these visuals that you can put. You're not going to maybe do all of those things, but you can use them. Sign in is here. I once had the kids do their signatures. I had a real moderate crew, and we all did our signing in. So we were for life skills, like a job. Like I have to sign in. All right, clock in, clock out, and they did that. And then there's vocational. These are really useful. I like the vocational tasks specifically because then we could put them up. So what does it look like? Wipe down the desk. All right. You're going to get out the spray. You're going to take it out the spray the desk and put the items, like a task analysis is broken down. And then here's the visuals to support it if you needed them. So when my kids say go to culinary class, a couple of years back, we needed some support. So they had one in here that was about, I was setting the table. There it is, setting the table. And so I printed this out and I sent it with them to culinary. Which I thought it was funny. I normally put the fork on top of the napkin, but. And then the last thing that Sanders wanted me to show you, and I think I'm nearing the end of my spiel, everybody, is the GPS. So for the benchmark thing, this is the other bit that we use a lot. It's useful to put the kids into the system. So to put the kids in the system, you go home to the home screen. My students, and you would click to add student here. So I want to create, just to give you a bit of like, what's this? I'm going to create a student that's going to be King. So the reds you have to put, so we're going to do Megan, last name King. So I can just, I'm not going to give you all. Grade level, I'm in 8th grade, service setting. You got to do these things because it's required. So like I say, because my kid doesn't really work, because like we're kind of here, we're not a resource room, but whatever. I think that's all you have to do. Select all, grade band, middle school, Teachville, create student. It's strongly recommended right now. Oh, okay. Okay, so new student created. Now I gotta do my profile. We're gonna start it, learning profile. All right, who's filling this out? Megan King. Now you have to answer all these questions about the student's capabilities. And it's physical, so do they, and this is a pain in the ass, like, I'm not gonna lie, it takes time. Requiring assistance to move through the room, sure, next. Fine motor, demonstrates adequate, requires no, and it kind of gets there, so like here, I need comprehensive modification. All right, I need vision, auditory, there we go. Sensory integration, sure, I need to manage oversensitivities and touch, communication skills. I can independently navigate my AAC device. Social, I need full prompting to be appropriate. All right, there it is. Continue. There's more. Now we're doing the academic. Decoding, I can read. Word recognition displays no response. Vocabulary. I'm just doing this quickly, you guys. It will take, normally I read all these very detailed. All right, let's click through. Writing, grammar, numbers, calculation, money, time, measurement, social studies, technology, save and end. Okay, here it is. This is my profile report. So overall, I got a score of 2.4. This is one we were putting in. The level I am is I'm supported. And then I can track specific skills if I want to go down into this nitty gritty for each one. Normally I don't do that. All right, so now we're going to go back to the GPS. I just use the bar up here. All right, here I am, Megan King. There's an introducing me page, which is kind of fun to do with the kids. So I live in, so you can edit it, and like I have brothers, I have sisters, my favorite color is, and all these things. So it's kind of nice. So when the kids transition to high school, you can have this filled out. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. Damn it. Let's go back. So take me where I want to be. Yes, good job. All right, let's go back to my GPS. The other bit that I use a lot, Sanders and I use this quite a bit, benchmarks. This bad boy right here. Benchmark. All right. I have a goal that I am doing basic math. I use this really predominantly for basic math or emerging skills. So for kids who are wicked low, but basic math for everybody. Can I count my numbers or can I do my coins and bill value? Coins and bill value is a typical goal we have in middle school here. I'm going to do it online. I'm going to run the test. The verification code is you just need to type in the student's full name. All right, here's the test. So you read the part at the bottom and then you click on the answers. Show me the penny, show me the dime, show me the quarter. I am not paying attention anymore. I'm clicking through these fast. How much cents is this? How much is that? 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 Okay, I got a score of 11. You want to put any notes? Never do. Save and end. All right, there it is. It tells me that my score is 11. I am in the instructional level. What I would do is I would do this at each reporting period. So now, say it's like 3 months later, it's time for grade. I'm going to run this test again. Oops, I'll make it king wrong.
Hey, Megan, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it while I'm doing this.
So I was doing this, 4 years ago, and Julie poo-pooed me and said, no, 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 no. So I'm just wondering, so is this going to be accepted, or like, I don't know Katya's vibe on this. Julie was like, no, we can't use that. It's not, blah, blah, blah.
I know, because she told me the same thing.
Okay, so are we?
Yeah.
So I
So
stopped using unique as benchmarks and everything, but is okay to go ahead and start using them again, you think? Or should we just do it?
I say do it. Sorry, my camera is really bad right now. I say go ahead and do it. And my reasoning for that is, I know why Julie said poo-poo, is because it's not standardized. And they're seeing the same assessment over and over and over again. And I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But there's theory and practice. We don't really necessarily need to rely on standardized assessment. Like, our kids are in special ed. Like, they know what they know. So I don't truly agree with Julie in that because I think it's giving them access to the information and seeing if they know it and then measuring it again. It's like giving a test 3 months later. They're not going to really probably know. So I like using this for my benchmark.
Right, okay.
We're trying, like, we've been talking about in our department meetings, like having a better standardized assessment for our tries that are kind of actually gives us pertinent information. So like I've started using the Woodcock-Johnson, but
right, that's what Julie was pushing, was the Woodcock. So we started doing that. But now we just found out in our special ed department meeting, I guess Sonia Roundup said that ESN was getting the Brigance. That's what we're going to start using now. That's what she told us.
Huh, interesting.
At Montgomery High.
Huh, because I was at that meeting and I think I like to think of it. I think I said this to an email and Noah, like, we're like the ugly stepchild of everybody. Like, we can always go by whatever we want to do, really. I don't think the Brigance is, I mean, it's kind of a one size fit all. I personally hate the Brigance because I hate inventories.
I know,
And
I don't like
right, and the Brigance it's not standardized, and it is giving them the same assessment over and over and over again. So
that, I don't know, that was the word on the street from Sonia, was that,
yeah,
that ESN, you guys are all getting the Brigance. And I was like, oh, okay.
Because I use the Woodcock-Johnson for my kids where it's applicable, and I love it. It gives me pretty good scores. But for like Angelina, to put perspective in it, like, she's not going to respond to the Woodcock-Johnson. So I think I probably even did it. I gave her the unique benchmark assessment.
And Julie made me give Angelina the Woodcock-Johnson, and she scored below kindergarten level.
No shit. Like,
Yeah.
what a waste of your time.
It's like, I can't even do this, so.
No. I
but-
think it's kind
okay.
of an Emily question, but we've been talking about our standardized assessments because we don't have one. And I think I would love to create for us, like as a team, like we create something where it's like a chart, where it's like a kid like Angelina, all right, they're gonna do the unique, because it's not so critical to have those scores to get that, oh God, for their tries, to see what the discrepancy is between like the psych report and the academic scores. We don't need a discrepancy because we know for a fact they're going to be in special ed and they're going to qualify.
She qualifies, yeah.
So it's kind of like, let's not be demoralizing and have to do that. Sorry, my phone's ringing. It's fine. So yeah, I say use this. Keeps your life simple. It's right there in the system. And if I put the kids in and we figure out the process a little better, you don't even have to input all the kids, because then I'll push them to you in high school and you'll have access to them already. So you'll
Can
never
you
truly,
do that?
we
Because
should be able
before
to.
I wasn't getting access, like I don't think there was a way to push them forward, from elementary to middle into that other band. It was like the bands weren't connected, and I don't know if they've changed that or not.
Okay, that's something we're gonna have to figure out. Because that's the idea, is that like you can then see
Right.
what they did in elementary school. And
Exactly. I would love to know, okay, what level are they coming to me at?
Mhm.
So I can figure out. a
and it's
starting-
not just my like interpretation of data, it's
Right.
based on their algorithm. So you can see point blank, that's where he was. All right. Does anybody have any, I threw a lot at you.
How long does it take your students to, well, I guess first to the Chromebooks, like we have, can they scan QR codes? And also, how long does it take students to log in with those?
To scan QR codes to log into the Chromebook.
Well, I guess, wait, were the QR codes for Chromebooks or like for Unique?
The QR codes are for Unique. So I have so here's Zeke's. He has to type that in. That is hard and painful.
Yeah,
Especially for
yes,
me.
most of the students are like, it's really hard.
It's too
anyway.
hard. It's a pain in the butt. So most of the time, I'm doing it for him.
Yeah,
So when we do our centers, they rotate into my center. I got my 4 kids, so I'm only doing a 4-to-1 ratio. I can handle 4 kids. I'm logging into their Chromebooks as fast as I can, and I'm getting them all to where they need to be. And it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, I won't lie. So sometimes I don't do the student view. I just do the whole view, so I can just hit refresh, and then I just have to write down their scores like wicked quick. Because then I don't have to keep logging out and logging out and logging out. So it's
for logging into Unique though, how long, like,
not that hard. Super easy,
Okay,
especially
good.
with the QR code.
yeah. All right, cool.
I would also like log in with just that one kid and then just leave it logged in, like the Chromebook. Log into the Chromebook under that kid's profile and then go to the Unique website. And then I just log out of the Unique. The new crew comes, they just have to do this. They don't have to deal with logging in.
And
that's
is that QIR code available like after you input them in the GPS and
Mhm.
then it'll
Yep.
pop up? Okay.
Yeah, this was a game changer for me this year. But again, it's like I mean, in my, Sanders and Christine, my guys all know this, like, we haven't been able to do this really with fruition because we've been so freaking busy dealing with behavior. Like, I haven't really, my center has become like a reading center, just silent reading, while I get the rest of the shit done that I have to do. So, yeah, this year's been hard. All right. So I think I'm going to stop here and just give us like a